Alright, hey guys, welcome back to the House of Tech, where each week we are going to show you how to delve into developing our skills with computers, operating systems, and a whole bunch of other nerdy stuff. So this week we are going to be talking about using the terminal and navigating around our file trees on the Linux operating system. So we're going to have a couple of commands that we're going to go over. So let's go ahead and let's jump right in. Alright, so let me just pull up my notes right here on my side, and first off, this is where we left off last week. We haven't really done anything with this operating system beyond installing it. Right now I'm going to click right here. We're going to open up a terminal, and you'll see that this is, you know what, I'm going to go full screen. I'm not going to use anything else. This is a great example of a Linux terminal. So in here I could do all sorts of I could run programs, I could install, I could do any kind of command line interactions with it. Now, I did want to kind of show you guys just a little bit of your regular graphical user interface. It's going to be really similar across operating systems, but for example, let's say within this documents, we wanted to create another folder, and that's just going to be called test. Alright, so that gives us a great... And just like anything else, you can go out, back, and forward, and into all the different files and folders and nooks and crannies that are on this computer. Just want to show you guys that we can do the same thing here. So currently, our current location is, it says tilde. So you see on this first line, it'll say my username, and then at whatever the computer's name is. So for this one, I am bit123. This is on the Linux box, and our location right here in blue is just tilde for right now. And tilde is just a shorthand shortcut for Linux. What it really means is within the user's home directory, right? So the user, being bit, has a home directory where all my files and folders are located, and we're inside that right now. So if we wanted to see the contents of that folder, we could type ls and hit enter. And ls just means list, and it's going to list all the things that are in there. We can go ahead and move around by saying cd. Now cd means change directory. Now so a folder in Linux is called a directory. And so if we want, so let's say we were in home, and you'll see that the contents are pretty much the same. You've got, you know, your folder that says desktop, your folder that says downloads, your folder that says documents, your folder that says music and templates, and all of the stuff that you see here. We're pretty much seeing the exact same thing up here, just in a less graphical way. So one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to change directory. We're going to go find that folder that we placed within that documents folder. And so I'm going to go change directory doc, and if you hit the tab key, it'll try to autocomplete to the best of its guess. So in that case, because I had, well, let's say I only had D, it wouldn't be able to figure it out. If I hit tab a couple of times, it would offer me the options that I might have been trying to type. And I could say, oh, I'd like to go to desktop or download. So if we hit DO and hit tab twice, see that it's removed desktop, because that desktop doesn't start with DO, it starts with DE, right? So in this case, we're going into our documents folder, and I'm going to change directory into documents and hit enter. And now you see that my location here has changed. Before it was tilde, and now it is tilde/documents. And so if I list the contents of that folder, now you can see that test folder that we created. And so really all I've done so far is I started off in tilde, and then I clicked into documents by saying cd, so I changed directories, and now you can see that we have that folder. And if I wanted to, I could even take that a step farther, and I could go cd test, and as you can see, I can go inside of that folder as well. So that's all we've pretty much shown you guys how to do so far. Let's talk a little bit, since this is one of our first command videos, let's talk a little bit about understanding other things that a command can do. So in this case, I have the command, and then I've typed in the location of something. Now, for example, I could actually, where is it? There we go. I could say I want to go to my home directory / desktop and actually go directly to a location that I know exists. Another option could have been that, let's say I was, well, let's go back to that test folder. I guess this one works just fine. So we're going to change directory and then put ... That's going to enable me to go backwards 1. And what I mean by backwards 1 is if we were in this test and we put CD, so we're going to go out into the folder that it is containing it, and maybe we said CD ... and we would go back out to home. And so to kind of give you guys a little bit more experience with that, let's say we go into our documents, so we'll go, and as you can see, there's that test folder, but now I want to go back out, and I'll say, and there's my documents again. So that's just how you're moving forward or back within your file tree. Let's say you didn't remember what the exact syntax was for something. We could say cd and maybe let's go help, and that's going to give us a list of any kind of any of the kinds of things that we might need to understand what the tool is for, how it's used. Maybe we have some options like these that might change what happens. And so that's going to give you more information on those. You could also ask the manual. In Linux, a lot of times you'll hear us say, ask the man. So the man just stands for manual. You would just type man as the command manual, right? And then maybe we would ask the man about, let's say, CD. Oh, it doesn't look like there is a manual entry for CD. I wonder if there's one for LS. There we go. So this is just going to give us a lot more information than we probably want about all the different kinds of things that you could add after the actual command in order to change what the output would be or what the change would be. And then we're going to go ahead and, as you can see right here, we're just going to hit Q to quit out of that. And now we're back. Another thing that might be really helpful as we're moving around our file trees is, let's say we were to go into something like, all right, so let's say we're on the desktop and we're not really sure where we're at. We could say pwd, and it'll show us exactly our location within the file tree, which will include all the way back to the computer. So we have /home, which is the file that contains all of the home directories, and then I'm the user bit123. That's going to give me specifically my tilde location is right here. It's /home /bit123, and then we are in the desktop folder, and that's what you're seeing right there. So that pwd just means print working directory. What that means is it wants to show you where you're at currently if you ever get lost or confused as to exactly where in the file tree you're located. So that's all you guys really need to know so far about navigating the file trees. I don't think that it would be very destructive for you to go ahead and move around a little bit and kind of get a feel for it. There are going to be certain things where it might not allow you access, or it might not allow you to modify, but it shouldn't be a problem. All right, and so that pretty much covers this week's topic. Next week, we are going to be talking about creating files and folders and those kind of things so that you actually get a chance from the command line to create things. I think that's going to be a pretty obvious stepping stone. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, give us a like, subscribe. If there's any topic that you'd like to see us cover, or you want to talk about today's video, go ahead, leave us a comment. I try to answer each comment individually. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.